Hello everyone and welcome back to Genie Crafts. In today's video, I'm going to introduce the basics of string art, specifically how to make portraits with string. So I'm going to take you through the different steps that you need to perform in order to create a string portrait. The only thing that I have not covered in this video is how to generate the template for this, which I'll be covering in next video because this video will be slightly long. So I'll cover that in the next video. So guys, let's get started. So the first thing that you need is a hardboard base or a painting canvas, circular painting canvas, on which you can put on the nails, which will act as anchors for the string. Now my hardboard base was almost 1 centimeter thick. You need at the minimum this, because the first attempt I did was with a very thin hardboard base of like 5 millimeters and it did not work out because the nails just popped out. Once you have your circular hard base, roughly mark the center of your hardboard base so that you can start drawing the angles. Now in a total I have utilized 180 nails. To position them accurately, I have utilized this circular protractor with the help of which I marked at every 2-degree angle. So total 360-degree angle in a circle. So every 2 degrees I put a slight indent mark on the hardboard, and which allowed me to create marks at the end of the hardboard where I want to put on the nails. So this has to be done accurately. The nails has to be at precise degrees and precise angles, because otherwise the figure might skew a little bit here and there. So it's important that you create these markings carefully and very precisely. Now once you have your markings ready, next step is to hammer in the nails, which is quite a tedious process because you have to hammer in 180 nails. As you can see that I had already created slight drill holes at each of the marks so that I put my nails in the precise place. This is just to ensure that everything is at equidistance from each other. Also, the nails that I'm using are galvanized nails. Initially I used shoe nails, which cause the thread to break. So use smooth nails which do not cause the thread to break. Once you have hammered in the nails, the next step is to basically number those nails. So start from 0 and go till 179. You don't start from 1 because in the template everything starts from 0. So 180 nails, you number them from 0 to 179. Once all this is done, the next step is to provide a light background. In my case, I have selected a white circular base. I have cut that from a cardstock paper and I will attach it to this hardboard. If you intend to utilize the hardboard again and again, then don't utilize glue or Fevicol to fix it to the hardboard. Just use a double-sided tape, which I did for my case also, so that the paper remains in place. Now instead of a hardboard base, you can also utilize a wooden base, but ensure that it is made out of soft wood. Otherwise you would have to spend much energy in hammering in the nails. Also do not use a wood with weak grain, otherwise the wood is going to split. The next important material that you require for creating this craft is thread. Choose the thread wisely. It should not be too thick, otherwise your entire portrait is going to black out. It should not be too thin, otherwise the portrait is going to look sparse, and thin thread is more likely to break also under the tension. So choose your thread wisely. I have chosen regular matte craft thread for this, and normally all these portraits are made with black thread only. And finally, here is how your template is going to look like. It's just a sequence of numbers depending upon how many loops you have chosen when generating the template. So if you have chosen 2000 loops, you are going to get 2001 numbers for it. If you have chosen 4000 loops, so 4000 numbers, etc., and so on. It's just a sequence of numbers, and in a separate video I will show you that how to generate templates like this. Each number on the template represents one single nail. So the nails that you have numbered, that's what those numbers represent. So if you are starting at number 0, then it means that you have to move your thread around nail number 0. If it is number 63, then you have to move your thread around nail number 63. So normally all templates will start with 0, so tie your thread around the nail marked as number 0. Tie 3-4 knots so that the knot does not open and it's a tight knot. It should not be a loose knot. Once you are done tying the knot, cut off the excess thread using a paper cutting knife or a scissor. And now let's start with our portrait creation. So we are already at nail number 0, and in our template the next number is 101. So I'm going to find out that where nail marked as 101 is there, and I'm simply going to loop my thread around that nail. So that's where the nail 101 is, somewhere on the upper right corner. So I'm going to loop my thread around it. Now you don't need to loop multiple times, you just need to loop around it. You don't even need to loop twice. Okay, also you don't need to stretch the thread too much. There should not be too much tension in the thread. What I observed when I tried this art the first time is that because of the tension of the thread, my entire hardboard got curved in the middle, it bent in the middle. So that means that too much tension in the thread is also going to warp your base or your hardboard. So just ensure that it is not loose, but it is not overly tight also. The next thing that you should keep in mind is that when you are looping the thread around the nails, at any point in time it should not get loose. Now there are many ways to do it, but the best way is to keep the thread roll in one hand and loop the thread with the other hand. This will ensure that there is proper tension, the required amount of tension in the thread at all point in time. You can face two more issues if the tension in the thread is too high. One is that your nails will start to get bent towards the inward of the entire base and they might pop out. So I faced that problem also. I think 6 to 7 nails actually almost came out of the hardboard. And another thing that will happen when your hardboard gets bent is that the threads that you had already looped in the initial stages of your portrait creation, they will become saggy and they will kind of hang in there, and it will not look good. It will ruin the entire effect of the portrait. So yeah, the bottom line is that necessary amount of tension is good. Too much and too less of it is bad. It's just that the thread should be in a single straight line, not hanging there, but not overly stretched also. So as you start looping the thread following the template sequence, initially you will see nothing. You will see that you are just randomly looping thread around the nails, but slowly after a couple of hours you will start seeing a picture emerge, the portrait that you are trying to make. So this process of looping the threads takes quite a lot of time. In my case, I had done almost 2500 loops to achieve the final effect. Also, what you can do is that you can generate higher number of loops through the template, but you can stop at any point in time. So if you feel that you have achieved the portrait effect, you can stop. You don't need to complete the entire 2500 loops. So that's completely up to you how many loops you create. So whenever you feel that you are done, you just step back some distance and see if the portrait effect is there or not. If the effect is there, you can just stop there. Since this entire process is quite exhausting, so you are definitely going to need a break while you are working on this. If that's the case, then whatever nail you are currently on, just loop the thread multiple times around it and put a heavy object on the free end of the thread so that the tension in the entire portrait is not released accidentally. Then you can take your break, you can come back, de-loop from that particular nail and start following the sequence of your template again. In case you run out of thread, which will definitely happen unless you have a very big roll of thread. So if you run out of thread, no need to panic, just have another roll ready with you and tie the ends of the two roll together, remove all the excess thread so that there is just tiny knot visible, and you can continue with your looping process. That knot will not even be visible anywhere, but it is recommended to complete the entire portrait in a single roll of thread, and you can get bigger roll of threads online also, as well as in craft shops. And I have completed all the loops. I am at the last nail, so as you can see that I have looped a little bit extra around that nail just to ensure that the thread does not come off, and then I'm going to tie knots around that nail 3-4 times or 2-3 times so that the thread remains there, and with that your portrait will be completed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this basics of a string portrait video. If you guys liked the video, then please do not forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends, and do subscribe to my channel for regular videos on different forms of art, and I will see you guys in my next video. Till then, stay safe, take care, and bye bye.